أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وبعد. اللهم علمنا ما جهلنا وذكرنا ما نسينا وفقهنا في ديننا واجعلنا من عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. أولئك الذين هداهم الله أولئك الذين هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. ثم أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters, today we are going to conclude the chapter of wudu with the last part. We're talking about نواقض الوضوء. نواقض الوضوء أحداث وأسباب. هناك ما يسمى حدث هناك ما يسمى سبب حدث. Okay, so today we are going to talk about things that vitiate wudu, invalidate the wudu. You know, one time there is the kind of open house and people coming, and the one was like a tour guy in the masjid. He told them, this is the wudu area. Like he pronounced the W as V. It maybe he from like some of the countries in that South Asia. Maybe it's hard for them to pronounce W. So he said that's wudu area. The people get scared. Oh, this is wudu in the mosque. So the wudu, they thought he's talking about kind of magic that's famous in the Mexico or in that area, you know. Yeah. So anyway, we're talking about wudu, not voodoo. Wudu. So the things that invalidate the wudu could be أحداث أو أسباب أحداث. تمام؟ ما هو الحدث؟ الحدث هو الخارج المعتاد في الوقت المعتاد. تمام؟ هذا الخارج الذي يقصد به حدث كالبول والغائط والريح والمذي والوذي. So this is, you know, called حدث. أحدث حدثا يعني خرج منه أحد هذه الأشياء. So this is حدث and there is سبب حدث. Ablution, which wudu, is nullified by either ritual impurities or causes thereof. The impurities could be urine or feces or breaking wind or can you see it? Yeah. Emitting. Okay. Or genital discharges. Yes. Okay. So these ahdath, which is the discharge of the body in the normal time. So the normal discharge in the normal time from the normal position, from the normal spot. Which it's important to understand that. So the normal discharge. Is blood a normal discharge? No. Is stone normal discharge? Could happen, yes, stone comes out from one of the places, you know, qubur or dubur, but it's not normal discharge. So we are talking about the normal discharge. And has to be from the normal position or spot. Let's say there's an extra hole that was made for medical reason or whatever, and urine came out of it. That's not gonna invalidate the wudu. So it has to be the normal discharge from the place that normally that comes out of it. Okay? الخارج المعتاد من المخرج المعتاد. That's we call it hadath. That's a kind of impurity invalidate your wudu. And bawl, which is the urine, or غائط. غائط, it's number 2, okay? As simple as that. They name it غائط in Arabic because they used to go when they want to respond to the nature call, and they have their own business, like they go to a lower place that called in Arabic غوط or غائط. فسمي الأمر باسم المكان. So they call the discharge with the name of the place. They didn't name it like, by itself, just, they name it with the name of the place. So they call it al-gha'it. Al-rih, rih, no, it's in this here, like releasing gas, okay, or breaking wind. So it's not any like wind, okay? That's as a discharge of the body. And then al-madhi. Al-madhi, how he translated here? Emitting prostatic. Emitting prostatic fluid. Are you familiar with these terms? Okay. Yes. Yes, that's correct. Which, the one actually, it's not as you said. What you said now? No, it's not. Say it again. No. That's al-mani. Okay, this is al-madhi. Okay? Al-madhi is different. Sometimes it's a sign of illness. Sometimes it's where that's normally when the person thinking of a desire or looking at something incited him, or like, something made him hyper, could be. So يتسبب إنعاط وربما بعدها يخرج, which normally drops, just few drops, as a clear color, and it's a sticky, So that's which is madhi, okay? That one invalidate the wudu. Mani invalidate the ghusl. Okay? So in this one, you didn't have to take a shower. Only you wash the private part completely, not only the tip of it. You wash completely the private part. There's a hadith that Sayyidina Ali كان رجلا مذاء. He has that issue where constantly, like, he had the madhi. So because he is the husband of the daughter ﷺ, he felt embarrassed to ask him directly. So he sent somebody to ask on his behalf. So the Prophet, give him the answer, which I mentioned to you. The last one is the wadi. The wadi, which is the genital discharges. Okay? Yes. These discharges required to repeat your wudu, because that invalidated the wudu. If you have the normal, like these normal discharges, that's from the regular or normal place, then that will invalidate your wudu. When it comes in a bowl, the bowl, it's very important to wash it and be gentle in how you wash it. It tends to be for men sometimes a drops of urine remain in the bladder, especially when you get older or you have some even medical issues. So what happens sometimes is you go to washroom, you make wudu, and after making wudu, drops of water comes out. Drops of urine, comes out. So what you should do? That's why you should, take some steps before making wudu. ويجب الاستبراء من بول ذكر كغائط لا ما كثيرا انتشر. So you make sure that you empty your bladder by rubbing gently from the back to the front multiple times on your private part. That's what helps. And give yourself time. Rest and time, that's what helps as well. Some people, they might stand and sit down multiple times, because when you move, that will help as well to clean, the remaining drops in there. Because even one drop that you have not cleaned, that's a najasa. And if you don't have illness, that will invalidate your wudu. You have to be careful about this. Al-gha'it, you have to wash the spot, and it's better always you wash it with water, with ماء طهور طاهر في نفسه مطهر لغيره. If you couldn't, with any other clean surface, where they call it istijmar, as in the past they used small stones, where they use that to clean from the urine and from the feces. That's fine. Nowadays, maybe there's kind of papers or tissues, yes, toilet papers or tissues. However, nothing better than using water. Some scholars, they combine between both. They use, some other remover for the dirt and the water. But there's no need. Water is suffice. Rih, you don't need to do anything. Or just there is a breaking wind, having gas discharge. You don't have to do anything. Some people, they ask, can I make istinja from rih? No. That's a mubalagha. That's tanattu'. There's no need. So there is no any istinja from the rih. From the madhi, as I mentioned, that it's not enough to wash just the tip of the private part. You have to wash it completely. Am I clear now? Okay. So these, what we called it, ahdath, discharges. Now the other part, asbabu ahdath, reasons or causes, or something might cause of discharge. By itself, it's not discharge, but it might, lead to discharge. Like, think of it. When any things that make you out of control, make your mind absent, and that time when your mind absent, you have no clue what kind of discharge, that's happened. Yes, you have no clue. So this is not discharge itself, but it might cause of any kind of discharge. As simple as sleeping. So sleeping itself is not discharge. It's not hadath. It's sababu hadath. It could lead to any discharge. That's why when it comes to that, scholars, they said, you know what? It's not any kind of sleep. Imagine just a light sleep. Like, where you're sitting and you're holding something in your hand. The moment that you drop it, you wake up. This was light sleep. You are aware of everything's around. That will never invalidate your wudu because you are kind of still in the control, yes? You're aware of your situation. That's why here it comes to say the asbab. He said, وَالْأَسْبَابُ النَّوْمُ الثَّقِيلُ وَالْإِغْمَاءُ وَالسُّكْرُ وَالْجُنُونُ وَالْقُبْلَةُ وَلَمْسُ الْمَرْأَةِ إِنْ قَصَدَ اللَّذَّةَ أَوْ وَجَدَهَا ومس الذكر بباطن الكف أو بباطن الأصبع ومن شك في حدث وجب عليه الوضوء إلا أن يكون موسوسا فلا شيء عليه. Yes, Akram, please read the second category. The causes are, the causes are
deep sleep, unconsciousness, intoxication, insanity, kissing, touching the opposite sex if pleasure is either intended or drift, touching the penis with the inside of the palm or the fingers.
Okay, yes. So these we call it asbabu ahdath. النوم الثقيل, that's a deep sleep. Deep sleep causing discharge. Yes, it might. And that's why we don't want to take a chance. So we say, you know what? That will invalidate your wudu. However, there are some situations, even with the deep sleep, but there is no required to renew your wudu. Yes. Okay, how? Not exactly waiting for salah. So it's happened, yes, in the Bukhari, the story that Sahaba waiting for salah. But when they are waiting, they are not laying on a wall or something. No, they are sitting and they're collecting their, legs, jama'a aliyatay. So they are sitting in a way, yes, in a way that's almost impossible, which not almost, it's impossible that any kind of discharge will leave the body. Yes? It's almost that's impossible to have any kind of discharge. When they are sitting, if they are on the side or laying on their back, it might be. So, but they are sitting there and they're waiting for salah, and the narrator said, you will hear that person snoring. And that means what? That means sign that he is in a deep sleep. And the iqamah will be announced, and he will stand up and he will join. And the Prophet ﷺ will never made any comment. They will join, they pray. Yes. Why? Because sleep is not hadath, it's not discharge, but it might cause for discharge. But in that circumstances, it's almost impossible. Yes? So that's why that's kind of exception. النوم الثقيل والإغماء. So the person will be kind of has no control. Example of that be unconscious. In that case, even it was a minute, even it was short time, that's invalidate the wudu. No, it's not istifragh. Like he fainted. يعني صرع أغمي عليه. Then that invalidates the wudu. The vomiting, no, it does not. No, does not. Vomiting does not invalidate the wudu. Yes. I think all of that clear. Al-Qublatu, kissing. Yes? Yes. That of course, that will invalidate, like somebody even kissing, like your wife. They say that's my wife. No, it's different. Even kissing your wife, that will invalidate wudu. Why he separated kissing from touching? Touching, not necessarily that invalidates wudu. Except Imam Shafi'i. Now we're talking about Imam Malik. Imam Malik never considered any touch for women that invalidates her wudu. No, any woman. So do we have to differentiate between the kissing, that's one thing, and touching. And we have to, when it comes about touching, we have to differentiate between the ruling of wudu and the ruling of touching itself. Okay? We have to agree now that touching with no need for when I say need, I mean a doctor or somebody like really need to touch. Touching that woman that's not mahram for you, it's haram. When there is no need. If there's a darura that she fainted and you want to help her, or you are a doctor, there's a need for that, that's a different story. So touching a woman with no need, that woman is not one of your maharim. Yes, she's not your wife, she's not your daughter, she's not, yes. That's haram. Second point, touching women, even your mahram, except your wife, with the desire, haram. Okay. So we have to be careful about this. The exception of that touching women, about the age. If she's in olden age, where she's under the category of qawa'id min al-nisa, that's not the same like when the young one. Like maybe a qawa'id nisa in this society, I would say 90 plus. Yes. Back home maybe 70. Here, yeah, you will see 80. They will have a makeup, and you never even guess they're 80s. So okay. So qawa'id min nisa, she will come and she will shake your hand, she will stretch her hand. It's different from the young one. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So So we have to differentiate in this case. If she's that old and no, not at all desire, or that young, like young with innocent, way, that's not haram. However, in this society, it's different. You have to take permission, even a little girl, a baby, take permission from the parent before touching. We are like having emotion, like we came from, like back home, where okay, we're fine, but it's not here. It's not fine. You might put yourself in trouble. So be careful. Okay. But now talk about fiqh rules. It's nothing wrong Islamically, touching like the young one, yes, no. The word kids it could be even 13, 14. التي لا تشتهى, where there's no desire toward it. Like a young one, 5 years old, 6 years old, that's a young one. Or elderly lady, there's no desire, toward her, where somebody would think bad of that. Allah named it al-qawa'id min nisa. That's permissible. That touching, if like a shaking hand, or there's a need for that. Okay. So now the ruling is something, and the fiqh is something else. When it comes to fiqh, that hukm of wudu, the wudu is something else. If any touch, regardless, any touch, with the shahwa, and that shahwa you intended or you find it. You have no intention, but you find shahwa. You found shahwa, desire. Or you intended that desire, even without, finding it, that's what invalidates your wudu. Okay? So we have to be careful about this. So here the Shaykh, he said, about the touching, what he said? Touching the opposite sex.
Touching the opposite sex if pleasure is either intended or derived.
Or derived. Okay. So in either way, that's what invalidates your wudu. That's included in one. Like for the wudu, yes. Imam Shafi'i, he said just touching regardless. That's what invalidates your wudu completely. But we are talking about the desire, if you have a desire, okay? That's regarding the wudu. We're not talking about haram or halal, we're talking about the wudu. Now, there is something different from between lams or mas or jas. There's mas and there's jas. Okay? No. This is very important to understand this. When you see mas, that's skin to skin. And touching, yes, skin to skin. Just not necessarily. That skin to skin could be, but not necessarily. But you hold on a part. For example, you hold the arm completely. It's not just, or you hold any part in the body. That's invalidate the wudu. If you are opposite gender, that will invalidate the wudu. So we have to be careful. Okay? Now the Shaykh differentiates between touching and kissing. When it comes to kissing, we're not going to question, do you find the desire or not, the intent desire or not. This kissing, period, that invalidates the wudu. You get the point? Okay. No, it's still يعني, it's still touching. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Subhanallah. Nowadays, يعني, so might be in that situation that, it happened. Yes. Like there's a brother asked me, he said, I work as a taxi driver and sometimes they will put the cash or money in my hand and it touch. Is that invalidate my wudu? No, that does not invalidate your wudu. Unless, that developed feeling or something in your heart or desire, that's a different story. But it just normally, no, it does not. Just by that touch, that's fine, does not invalidate your wudu. What's other question? In this society, it's normal for them. They shake hands, like yes, and they stretch their hands. Now, if you are going to a place and you have that expectation that they will shake the hand, then you might actually make your hand busy with something, that will protect you from that situation. Because if they stretch their hands, maybe Islamically you are not at the blame if you're stretching your hand as well. Okay, if they started with that. But do not like squeeze or something, if that happened. When I go and I have my wife with me, and if a lady stretches her hand, I will push my wife to go and shake the hand, for example. But yeah, it might happen in some situation. You'll be in that accurate situation. However, if it happened, especially for the first time, and there's a chance to explain that, what, in our practice, in our religion, we don't shake hands with the opposite gender, and that's matter of respect. It's not as you think. And sometimes what I do, I quote the example of the Queen in Britain. The Queen in Britain, they have protocol. There are only 7 men can shake her hand. And in Islam, we have 7 men only that can, touch, or shake hand of Muslim ladies. So I told those ladies, I said, you see, Islam treated all our women as the queen. But for you, you have only one queen that have been treated this way. So they laugh and they understand the point. So why the queen that only limited people they can shake her hand or touch her? Because a matter of honor. So we honor our women. It's not any man can shake their hand. Is that clear? Now, mastud dhakar, touching your private part. Touching your private part, that's a debatable issue. And why is debatable issue? Because there are 2 hadith. There's one hadith supporting those they said it's invalidating wudu, and there's another hadith it's supporting the other one. They said does not invalidate your wudu. And when a Bedouin man came to Rasulullah and he said about the touching this, he said, indeed, that's part of you. So meaning, do not have to worry. And Imam Hanifa considered that hadith. So touching your private part, according to that hadith and according to that school of thought, does not invalidate wudu. However, here we're talking about in Malikiyya, touching your private part directly, with no ha'il, with nothing in between. You touch it from the front part of your palm. That will invalidate your wudu. If you touch it with a ha'il, like you have underwear, for example, and touch it, or you touch it from the back of your hand, that is fine. So the only when you touch it directly from the any part of your bum. It's not the back of it. Now the question, how about touching other person private part? Oh, he said, like what this? like the woman, the mother, changing the diaper of her baby. Yeah, well, انت شنو تحاول انت شنو فهمها انت شنو فهمتها؟ لا خير ان شاء الله. So like a mother touching the private part of her baby. Okay? Is that invalidate her wudu? No. 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 Even cleaning the najasa, cleaning the private part or of your baby, that's fine. Does not invalidate the wudu. I don't know what's baby, like age limit when I say baby. Oh. It's fine. It's fine. Like now, like generally speaking, you cannot like touch an adult, for like unless there's a necessity. So if there's a necessity, like as I said, you're a special need, that rule will cover the same things, as the baby. Yes. Yes. Yeah. But how the professional people? Yes, they should like wear gloves, doing that, and only when there is a need, and only do not like really take this as a permission. So there's no limit or there's no regulation. No, there is a regulation with that. ومن شك في حدث وجب عليه الوضوء إلا أن يكون موسوسا فلا شيء عليه. Here it's important. If you have doubt that you have discharge, and a lot of people they might have that doubt, okay? So if that doubt, and it comes in a blue moon, once in a blue moon, once in a month, once in 2 weeks, once even in a week, let's say. If that not that constant, then whenever like that doubt comes and you cannot clear it, still you have that doubt, then you should renew your wudu for that. But if that's a constant, yes, even once a day, that's not normal, then you should ignore it. They call that person al-mustankih. So you have a constant doubt. Do not follow your doubt. When you follow your doubt, that will control you actually and lead you to a worse situation. So the way how you deal with it, ignore it. ويجب عليه غسل الذكر كله من المذي ولا يغسل الأنثيين. والمذي هو الماء الخارج عند الشهوة الصغرى بفكر أو نظر أو غيره. Yeah, read the last part.
Whoever has doubts about impurity must renew his wudu unless it is a whispering coming from shaitan, in which case he need not do anything. The whole penis must be washed in case of the creation of a prostatic fluid, but not the testicles. Prostatic fluid is the liquid secreted when raised through fantasizing, lustful looks, or the like.
Okay, I think we covered that already, this part. Do you have any question? Is it clear? Yeah, today we'll make it short as we promised at the beginning. We stop at this, and inshallah we'll continue next time. Bi-Idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم علمنا ما جهلنا وذكرنا ما نسينا وفقهنا في ديننا واجعلنا من عبادك الصالحين. اللهم نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. آمين.